Oh, it's so good to be back. Right, let's double check. Before we get going, can you see me? Can you hear me? You know what I'm like. Let's check comments. Let me move this out of the way. Who we got with us today? Oh, it's so good to be back. I've missed you all. Right. So, you just let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me, and then we'll have a little catch up before we do anything today, because I've missed you. It's been so long. It's like been a week and a half, but it feels like forever. So, yeah, you can see and hear me. Yeah, it's working. Oh, so you might get the overhead shot today. Fingers crossed it works. So, let's have a see what we've got. Thank you so much for all your lovely messages, guys. It's so good to see you all. Justine, the new place is so good. As you can see, this space is the kitchen. It's very small, but it's all I need. We got most of the things unpacked in the kitchen. We've still got stuff to do, but we just love it. It's such a cute little house. We've just fallen in love with Chester. We really have. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be a lovely home. It feels like it already, so we love it. But it feels good to be able to do this. So I've got a few little setups where, depending on what we're doing, we might be around the kitchen. But we can make it work, as we always do. So, worst case scenario today, I'm trying the different cameras. If it goes wrong, give me a couple of minutes and I'll be back on Facebook Live, okay? But it's going to be fine. It's going to work. So, should we talk about what we're going to do today? Actually, no. How is everyone today? I've not spoke to anyone for ages. I've not been on the group because I've been so busy. And you know what it's like. I didn't realise I had so much stuff. And it's a bit of a nightmare unpacking. But we're slowly getting there. So I've missed the lives. I've missed the group. I try and dip in now and again. But I really have missed you all. So, I've seen as well some of you guys doing the chef course and looking very professional. And I know how exciting it is to do the course because obviously I did it. So, I hope you're enjoying it. Justine, I know you're doing it and you are just doing amazing. I know what it's like. I know how exciting it is. And you just get all these beautiful recipes and you get to try them out. So you're doing so well with it, and you are really going to inspire other people to do it. And who knows, you might be doing a live. Share my Fridays with me. So, should we get going? So we're going to do a Tempeh Reuben today. Obviously, you can see above. So, oh, you can see my apron. I have worn it before, but you can see me from front on today. So I've got my Pinch of Kindness apron on. So we're going to do a Tempeh Reuben. So it's a nice, easy recipe. The weather's a bit hit and miss, but the sunshine's coming out today. So I'd like to have lunch in my little garden. I know I'm looking a bit miserable with the blind shut, but with the window behind me, if they're open, you can't see me. So I'm not being miserable. So I thought we'd do a nice, easy recipe. And really, sandwiches are something that I don't eat that often, yet if we went to a cafe, it's something that I'd order and obviously really like it. So my lovely friends, Charlotte and Nathan, who we share our recipes with and they tell us things they're making, and he told us Nathan had made a tempeh sandwich and it just sounded so nice. So I thought, right, I'm going to pinch that idea and we're going to make it a little bit different, and that's why I thought we'd do a Tempeh Reuben, because this is something that I've only ever eaten in a cafe. It's not something that I'd make really, so I thought it's really easy to make. This is actually the first time I'm making it, so we're going to make it together. So if anybody's cooking along today, it's nice and easy. We'll go through it together. So you'll just need, we're going to use a bit of a frying pan just to toast off the tempeh. We're going to make a quick slaw with our little food processor, and then everything else is going to be grilled. So nice and easy today. And then just a little bit of a mixing bowl because we're just going to make a little dressing. So nice and easy. So shall we switch cameras and see if it works? I'll see you overhead. Shall we have a go? Yay! Can you still hear me? Can we do it? Is it working? Hi Sue, don't worry about being late. We just love that you're here. So I've got a lovely little image for you. We're still keeping it up. So this is dedicated to you guys. I hope you can see it. I'll lift it up if not. Just having a little look on there what it looks like. So we're going to do our oh, Justine, great. Oh, so you're doing a tofu, Reuben. Perfect. Anything with this. Let's move this up and you can see it a bit more. So we're going to do our slaw first. So it's not going to be a traditional slaw, and we're not going to put any dressing on it. We're going to just have it as a bit of crunch, and the dressing will come on top of the sandwich. I'm going to lift this up. So it is a hat, but it's actually a little character. Sorry that the ink smushed everywhere. And I know this just through teaching. So it is from, I'll give you a clue, it's from a children's book. Yay, I'm so glad it's working today. Don't feel professional. Yeah, of course Colleen found the image first because Colleen is the rainbow queen, obviously. Right, so I've got my little handheld blender. So I put roughly 50 grams of red cabbage, and that's just going to be maybe like a ½ centimetre slice, not even that. None of this is has to be exact. You're just going to get some crunch in there. So you just kind of want equal amounts: red cabbage, carrot, spring onion, red onion, white onion, whatever you've got. Yeah, it's a funny shaped carrot, isn't it? I found the most beautiful organic fruit and veg shop nearby, which makes my heart sing with joy. So we get to go and pick all our veg, and yeah, we like a bit of wonky fruit and veg now and again, don't we? We love it all. So what we're going to do, I've got my little, I think you can still see it just on the edge there. I'll bring it in the view once we're going to blitz it up. So I'm just going to roughly chop spring onion to chuck in. This spring onion is quite a big chunky one, so I'm just going to use one. And also it depends how much of the onion taste that you want in your slaw. It's not Little Miss Heart, but just it is a Little Miss. So you can have a little Google at Little Miss characters. And she's dedicated to you guys because I've missed you all so much. So we've got spring onion in there. I'm just going to chop the ends off the carrot, and again roughly chop and chuck the carrot in just to help the food process because it's only a little one. And then we're going to do one slice of this. So this probably will have some left over. This is going to be for 2 sandwiches. Anything left over, I might make a little side salad. So just chop a slice. I'm hoping, whilst the shops are open now, I'll be able to go and get my chef knife soon. I'm sick of using this. So just a slice of red cabbage, and we'll chuck that in. Little Miss Hug, you got it! Little Miss Hug, just for you guys, a big hug to all of you, because I've missed you. Right, I hope this works because it's very fun. If not, I'll just half it. So we just want it to bring some crunch. So take it as crunchy or as fine as you want. Yeah, Colleen, Little Miss Hug. Pop the lid on. You're pretty impressed with how fast you got that actually. And we're going to just give it a little blitz. So guys, if you are cooking along, it depends what your grill's like. I've put my grill on low. So once we put, what we're going to do, I'm going to toast the bread. and then we'll build the sandwich, and then I'll toast it to melt the cheese. So if you've got a sandwich, what they call like a panini machine, a panini maker, you can do it in there instead of the grill, but I don't have one, so I'll just pop the grill on to warm up. If your grill needs warming up like mine, just pop it on now. If not, you can pop it on when we need it. But we're going to toast our bread after this. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to do our tempeh first, so don't worry. So, let's start mixing with it. So again, make it as rough or a bit finer, it's up to you. I think I quite like that. I want a bit of bite to this. So really, with a Reuben, you would use sauerkraut. Sorry, someone's just come up on the laptop. I'm just getting rid of it so it doesn't do anything to us. You'd use sauerkraut, but I don't have any sauerkraut. So to bring that pickly flavour, I'm going to use some gherkins. So I've still got a few bigger bits in there, but I'm quite okay with that. But let me see. Yeah. So you could even blitz the gherkins through here if you wanted that, but I'm going to slice them up to make sure that pickly taste comes all the way across the sandwich. Yeah, that's a great way to cook it, Colleen. With this, I'm just using that tempeh for some bite, not to bring the flavour. So I just want to crisp it up a little bit in the pan. We'll do that now. So let me just use this. So I'm using this tempeh for the first time. So tofu company now do tempeh. So it comes in this little bag like normally to make the little sausage shape. Have any of you guys been doing your tempeh? I've still got some culture. I don't know if it'd work. I would like to give it a go. Oh, I have to get really close to that, yeah. Oh no, sir, you broke your mini chopper. Oh well, you broke it on cookies. That's worth it, isn't it? Well, what are you doing tomorrow, Justine? Oh. Right, so I'm going to cut this into chunks long ways. So I'm going to cut it into 4. So quite thick. This is going to be the bite for our sandwich. So you can use tofu, you could use mushrooms, you could use seitan, you could use eggplant, aubergine, whatever you like. So this is going to be the bite onto our bread. So this is going to be the meat substitute. If you wanted to get more, you can. I might actually just take the top off this one, just so it sits a bit flatter. But we'll still use it. And all I'm going to do is salt and pepper this. And let me just pop the hob on. I'm just going to put it on a medium heat. I've wiped the pan with some oil, just to prevent it from sticking. Just check where we're up to with comments, guys. Oh, Karen, have you been suffering with some migraines? I feel your pain with migraines. They're awful. Right, so I can feel that we're getting hot. And this is just to seal it up, get a bit of a crisp. And we're just going to keep it simple with salt and pepper. So let's pop that in. And just a little bit of salt and pepper on top, and then we'll do it on the other side once we turn it around. I prefer it to be more peppery rather than salty. But again, you just do this to taste. So Louise, tofu is, let's pop onto this camera, let's come back while that's just cooking. So we've asked what's the difference between tofu and tempeh. So tofu is using the soybean bean curd, I haven't got any to show you, which can either be a silicone tofu or a firm tofu. So that's going to come in a block, and it's kind of got a firm texture, but it's kind of one piece. Or the silicone tofu is obviously softer. The tempeh is a fermented bean. So let's pull this out because it's not too hot. Let's have a look. So we can see, can you see, all the beans are packed together, and it's coated in a culture. So the culture builds around the beans and will hold it together to create normally kind of like a sausage shape. Doesn't really matter. Tempeh is really good for kind of gut health because we're talking about that fermented food. It's got its own taste. At first, it took me a little bit to get used to tempeh, if I'm honest. So I like to flavour it up. You can marinate it. You can obviously add seasoning to it. You can put it into things. But I absolutely love tempeh now. So really, that's the difference. And both of these you can make yourself. Just pull that because the light is shining down a bit. But if you're new to vegan food, for me personally, I would experiment with tofu. That's just my preference. Doesn't mean, you could like tempeh. Something like this where it's on a sandwich, that'd be quite common. And you're not really going to taste it. You're going to have more of the texture. So it's a firmer texture. Tofu can be, depending on how it's cooked, can be a little bit spongy. If you're using a silicone tofu, you can mix that into a sauce so you wouldn't even know it's in there. We're going with tempeh jokes now, guys. I hope that helps. And if you'd like, we can look back on some of the recipes. So there's quite a few tofu recipes. I think we've used tempeh before, I presume we have, but we could maybe explore it a little bit more actually. And I know some of you have been making tempeh or were thinking about it, so I'd love to know how it goes because it is a bit tricky. Because it's just due to the keeping the temperature regulated, isn't it? So you're getting, obviously you're dealing with mould, so it needs to be safe. Let's just flip these around. So let's flip, just switching back, guys, so you can just see whilst I'm flipping these over. Can we see? We're just getting a bit of browning where it's been touching. So whilst this side, have a little bit of salt on this side, whilst this side is browning, I'm going to pop my bread into the grill. So I'm going to toast it and then we'll build the sandwich up. That sound okay? If you're going to use a sandwich maker, then you can just forget this section, unless you want it toasted on the inside. I'm going to toast both sides. So So let's get this. I'm going to pop bread onto it and just pop it straight under the grill. And then we'll build the tempeh and the cheese, and we'll melt the cheese, and then we'll build everything else on top. So whilst this is grilling, we'll double check if we've got any more questions and comments. Let me just pop this in. I'm getting used to this grill, so we're just testing the temperatures out. Hopefully we won't burn anything. So let's turn it up a little bit. Oh, I'm glad that helped, Louise. How long should we steam a tempeh for? Denise, I'm not sure because I actually... Oh, Colleen, you've already got in there. So you steam it for 20 minutes and then you marinate it. I've never steamed it, and this is for me where I've had tempeh that's come in... Can't think what the make was called, and it comes in a jar of liquid rather than it being dry. And I didn't like the texture. I'm very fussy with textures. Not fussy. I'm sensitive to textures. So I would prefer this to kind of get even more firmer rather than soft and then crunchy on the outside. But yeah, try it out. If you want to steam it and then marinate it, and then what do you do, Colleen? Will you fry it off or bake it, or that's it? You're just going to leave it cooked in the marinade and that's it? I think if it goes into like a curry or something, I don't mind. But if it was something that you were eating, you know, the tempeh was the standalone ingredient, then I would prefer it to be a bit crunchier, a bit drier. That's just my preference. That doesn't mean I'm right or wrong. We love it, having things our own way. And this is the thing with food. You can cook things however you want. There's no right or wrong way. And sometimes when you experiment, you find out something that you really like. I love doing that. I'm going to have a go at some baking today. So I'll let you know how that goes. So, let's double check. Let me pop you back over here. Actually, you can stay there while we just check the bread. Let's turn that up. So, whilst the bread's toasting, we'll come back to the other view and we'll mix up our dressing. Actually, before we do that, so we're going to make a Reuben traditionally has a, Pepper's got my throat, has a Russian dressing. So a Russian dressing is like a spicier Thousand Island dressing. So Thousand Island, we can just make it by mixing ketchup and mayo together. So we're just going to add a little bit of extra spice into that. So that's why I've just put a dab of hot sauce. You could also use a little bit of chili powder, but it's to your preference, how much you like your spices. So let's flip this over and we will do that. Let me just grab a glass of water. And I'm going to leave the tempeh on, but I'm going to turn the heat right down. Oh, Colleen, you usually use an air fryer. I haven't got an air fryer. I've never used one, so I'm not too sure how it comes out with an air fryer. Just making sure that's not melting. So let's do this. So with our dressing, I've just got a little dish. I'm gonna do more ketchup than I am mayo, because we want the tomatoey taste to be the main taste. So I'm going to do a tablespoon of that, and then about a tablespoon and a half of ketchup. Well, let me just check the bread. I think I can smell it. Just flip the bread over if you've got it in. I'm just going to lightly toast because it is going to pop back in, or one piece is going to pop back in while we melt the cheese. And then tablespoon and a half, roughly, ketchup. I feel really professional, Mandy, with these camera angles. Like a little proper cooking show. So we've got our sauces. I'm just going to move that spoon because we don't need it. So I've got some smoked paprika. I'm going to put a 1/4 teaspoon of that, just for a little bit of smokiness. And a dab of hot sauce. So definitely something like this. Start small, mix it up, taste, and then add whatever you need into your taste. And so I've got nice and kind of that peachy pink colour. Let's get a spoon. Let's have a little taste. I like things quite spicy, but actually that's just got kind of a background heat. We don't want it to overpower it, so I actually am happy with that. These were my guesstimation recipes when we put it together, and it actually works. So we have got our slaw. That's quite a lot actually, so that's not all going to go on the sandwiches. And then we've just got our Life grated cheese. That's going to go on top. So any cheese that you've got that melts. I'm going to turn the tempeh off. I'm just going to pop it to the back while we bring the toast out. And let's have a check. Okay, I'm just giggling at your little comments. So I've only lightly toasted this because I'm going to pop some back in. I don't want the bread to be super crunchy because we want it to hold our sandwich. So it's only started to brown. And on this side, it's still a little bit soft. So I'm going to keep the soft side on the outside. The crunchy side, we're going to put our tempeh and our cheese. So let's do that. Let's do tempeh. If you wanted to slice this up and spread it through, you could. But I'm just going to keep it down the middle to fill most of the bread. And then I've just put on the recipe, I've just put grated cheese because I'm not going to measure it. I'm just going to sprinkle it on. Tell you what, I can realise that you can't see me. Let's just move this a bit. I'm just being careful just because it's been in the grill. Move this like this and you can see. Is that better? That's better. Right, let's go back. So I'm just going to sprinkle the cheese on. So use as much or as little as you want. So if you were using your panini press, pop all this on and then build your whole sandwich and then obviously toast it up. I'm just doing it this way because I don't want to heat our slaw. And we're keeping the slaw without the dressing. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of slaw on and then the dressing is going to go on top. Oh, I've just realised I was supposed to have 8 pieces of bread. Right. There we go. I've made enough for 4 sandwiches, not for 2. Didn't think about that, did I? Can't do the math. So, I've obviously got some tempeh left over, which I'll make a nice little salad with, or Jay will probably have another sandwich. Right, so let's pull this off actually. And we're going to melt this cheese and then we'll build our sandwich. So let me just pop this back in the grill. And let's melt that. So we're back. So yeah, that tempeh is enough for 4 sandwiches. So if we're making 2, let's go 100 grams of tempeh. We're figuring this recipe out together. So we've got our dressing. We're going to melt the cheese. Then once we've got the sandwich, tempeh cheese, we're going to sprinkle our slaw on, top it with our dressing, sandwich done. Nice and easy. Let's pick that up. We're so glad to be back. Doesn't it feel like it's been a long time? Really does. And I feel good, like you're going to give me some routine and we'll be able to check in towards weekend with our shows. Oh, I think we okayed this. Next week I'm going to do Thursday just as a one-off. And then I'll be back for Fridays after that. So Fridays will normally be my day, but I'm messing the schedule up straight away. So next week I'll be Thursday. And then after that I'll be back to Fridays. So let's check this cheese. Oh, melting nicely. I've still not found, as I know I've said it on a couple of weeks, the BioLife do a mature cheese. I've still not found it yet. But when I do, we'll do a recipe with it. Being a bit naughty whilst we've moved it. It feels a bit like we're on holiday, so we are eating a bit of treat food. But I've been running still, so I did my 100k in a month. I got my medal, so I'm still exercising, so we're allowed a treat while we're exercising. And now I'm here and we're going to get settled. I'm really going to pick Pinch of Kindness back up because I have not done anything for a while. So check me out at Pinch of Kindness and we will make sure, I'll make sure that I start posting. So I think that is melted enough. Let's switch our view back and you can see our nice melted cheese. So let's tell you what, getting a bit messy now. I'm going to just pop the cheese away. And as always guys, going forward, if you have any specific requests, just let us know because we'll make it happen. We're happy to explore anything. And now I am where I am. I'm going to nip out every couple of days to grab some ingredients because I've got my lovely shop up the road. So if there is anything, sorry guys, I'm just making a bit of space. If there is anything that you want me to do and I've not got anything in, then we'll go and check it out. We'll go and see if the shop's got it and we'll make it happen. So let's do 2 sandwiches in one and we can move this grill out of the way. We'll wash that once we're done. Oh, Colleen, I'm so glad that you love that recipe. I'm going to have a go at making some pesto because I have to share a picture later. I'll pop it on the group. My lovely sister got me a greenhouse and I put it up in my garden and I've got all my herbs and they're all growing nice. So I'm going to have to show you and I can make a pesto then. Joss, I'm on Instagram and Facebook, but I don't really use the Facebook one if I'm honest. I use my Instagram. I just haven't posted whilst we've been moving, but I will be getting to it. I've got a nice recipe that I'm going to make this next few days. So let's sprinkle on. Probably should have just used a spoon. Sprinkle on our crunchy slaw. I tell you what I've not got out. I've not got my pickles out. Need to get the gherkins. So you could substitute this. I know a couple of people have made the sauerkraut recipe. Fantastic recipe, nice and easy to make sauerkraut. Really expensive to buy, so always make your own. So this is going to bring some crunch and some onion to our flavour, to our sandwich. Oh, thanks, Cleve. I wouldn't mix, if you was making the actual dressing can, I wouldn't mix hummus into it. But you could just use hummus instead of the dressing, that'd be lovely. You could even bring some oregano into it to make it a bit more Italian vibes. Let me just grab the jar of pickles. Always, 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 I have a jar of sour pickles on the go. My favourite snack. I love it when you call me chef. The best thing ever. So, let's just slide this over. Let's make this happen. Slide this over. We're going to cut our gherkins long ways. Depending on how big they are, you might not need to. Just put that there because that'll fall off. And you could do proper sandwich style where you pop a little toothpick in the top with a gherkin through it. And then top it with your dressing. So this is a messy sandwich, but it's so worth it. Get all of that out. That's the perfect amount for 2 sandwiches. So this is a nice recipe that you can adapt. Bread-wise, obviously, if you're gluten-free, you just use your gluten-free bread. You can alternate the tempeh with other ingredients, and like we've just said, mix up the dressing. Obviously, it won't be a Reuben there, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to put the softer one in the centre. So if you're using your panini press, obviously you're going to press those sandwiches down. Let me just pop that on that chopping board. Flip that over. We'll chop this in half and you can see it. Good enough. Can you see that, guys? I'm going to bring it to the other camera. Look at that. Nice and easy. Let me just switch cameras and I'm going to check your comments. Hey, so, wrong way. There we have it, guys. Our nice, easy tempeh Reuben. Got some inspiration from my lovely friends to help me with that recipe. And the sun shines on its way out so I can have my lunch in the garden. So let me just check where we're up to with comments. Oh, we're doing jokes. Oh, I'm glad you like the look of that. Nice and easy, isn't it, guys? So I actually might explore some sandwich recipes because it's just easy to have a sandwich for lunch in it, but I do think vegan sandwiches take a little bit more thought than, oh, the sun's just come out, so I've just gone very light. Yeah, they take a little bit more thought, I think, but that means they're even nicer to eat. The post came in there. So then, right, that's it today, guys. Thank you so much for all your lovely comments. Thank you for everyone that's messaged me whilst I've been moving. You're just so lovely. You're all so lovely. And I'm so glad to be back. So I will be back next Thursday. I will share a recipe. I'll pop, I know the ingredients are up, but I'll pop the methods for this on the group. I also might make a little Pinch of Kindness blog recipe card to go with this, and I will also add another recipe to Pinch of Kindness before next week. So I will see you next Thursday, and I'm going to share my little greenhouse pictures with you later because I just love my greenhouse. So thank you so much. I have absolutely loved catching up with you all today, and I will see you next Thursday. Bye, guys.